On September 13th, 2022, the Nintendo Direct announced that we would finally be getting a demo on Square Enix's new title, Harvestella. After playing through the demo, I decided to make a quick summary of some of the game's story, mechanics, characters, and the combat. Since I really enjoyed it, I hope you do too. First off, I'd like to talk about the character creation system. There wasn't too many options for anything, but you could select just whatever skin color you wanted, as well as male and female, or just non-binary. This seems to have very little impact on the game so far in the 3 hours that I played, but hey, that's fine. The only thing that didn't really make sense is why they decided to make the male character look like the CEO of Femboy Hooters. I guess if you're a Nostalfo fan that might help you, but hey, I won't judge. The opening sequence starts with you waking up in the middle of a town during an event called the Quietus, being awoken by a mysterious angel-like figure telling you that you'll have to choose between this world and another one just to save. You pass out on the edge of town during the Quietus. Later, a doctor wakes you up and tells you to meet her at her clinic to check up on you, given that you probably should be alive after surviving the season of death.
Excuse me? Excuse me? Excuse me? Mommy? Sorry. Mommy? Sorry. Mom.
After Dr. Kress gives you an examination, there's a sudden earthquake. The doctor's brother/assistant comes running in telling you to come outside. As you get outside, a giant crystal falls from the sky next to town. Your only option? Investigate it. When you walk up to the crystal, there is a door, and you discover a person in a suit of armor inside. Dr. Kress tells you not to approach them, saying that they're an Omen, one of the game's fictional races that the humans look down upon. Seeing that there's prejudice in this game, Square Enix may try to touch upon this subject like they did in Final Fantasy X, with Waka and other characters.
The race war starts now!
After the mayor shows up, you take the Omen to a house on the west side of town, where you can begin farming, which is a major mechanic in the game, giving you food to eat and sell to upgrade your equipment. It's not super tedious. It takes a day or two for most vegetables to grow, so you don't have to wait super long. Thankfully, you can take your time with this while dungeon crawling, quote unquote, mostly because the only dungeon is a forest. I'm gonna keep the rest of the game pretty much spoiler free for the most part so I can talk about the combat, which is okay. You pair up with another Omen as soon as you get to the canyon/forest. It looks more like a forest, but it's actually called the canyon. And there you'll find a few different types of enemies. Nothing too major. Some small bosses, minor enemies, and even another character who you can bring along with you as part of the story. But you can only explore for a small amount of time because of how fast the days go in this game. Each day will be like 10-15 minutes, and then you have to go back to sleep to rest for the next day, then come back, find shortcuts, then just, get back into place. After that, I noticed the hitboxes were kind of janky. I would be behind an enemy, and they would still hit me, even though their attacks were facing the other direction. I don't know what they're gonna do with that, but I hope they at least try and do something about it. I wasted a lot of healing items trying to do that, which the healing items are easy to come by, but it still feels like a waste half the time trying to heal for attacks that you shouldn't have been hit by. The combat is a little bit like Final Fantasy XV's party system, which I like. They also allow you to change class mid-combat in case you need to swap damage type, i.e. like a sword or magic to take out a specific enemy in case you get surrounded. All in all, I think the most potential this game has is in its story. If it can tackle real-world issues with class, it may be another big hit for Square Enix. The combat, like I just talked about, leaves things to be desired. The characters are just there for now. Hopefully they're there for more than just a small part of the story, and become more fleshed out as you progress in the full game. 3 hours isn't much to go on, but I'm really looking forward to this, and what it can show, and I think you should too. Thanks for stopping by.